Hi everybody, Ryan Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No StinkingRecordCompany.com, and I am still really excited to be talking to Dave Williams, who's down in the Vault Studios in Houston, Texas, and a drummer and engineer, highly experienced in the record industry as an exec and all kinds of different things. But we've been talking about drums, and Dave, I hope that we've been concentrating on drums today. I hope at some point that I can get you back and we can talk about some other things, because you record a lot of other things as well. But just these last 5-6 segments is an illustration of how complicated the drums are. All the things that we've been thinking about that come down to recording drums. So now I'm going to ask you something that's a little bit more general and not necessarily aimed at drums. And that is, we've been talking an earlier time about microphones. And I know that there are some really expensive microphones out there, and I know there's some pretty good cheap microphones as well. And so first, for this segment, I'd like you to talk about, if you had your wish list, what might be your top 2 or 3 or 10, or whatever, I'll let you decide, microphones, and how would you apply them?
Oh, yeah, I've got a wish list. I mean, there are, some little-known microphones like Manley, at least little known to the average consumer. There are...
Manley? Was that Manley?
I'm sorry?
Did you say the name of the company was Manley, or did...
Yeah, Manley, M-A-N-L-E-Y.
Okay.
And, they have some great gold reference stereo mics that, run as much as $7,200. Now, are they necessary in certain applications? Yeah, if you have access to it, fine.
What would they be good? What would a Manley microphone? What would be the special application that would make it so good? What would you apply it to?
Well, depending on which one. Sometimes, like with their tube mic, they have great for voiceovers. I mean, good general purpose mic. You can use it on drums, guitar cabinets. But it's also a $7,000 microphone. Here's the thing, though. A lot of times people feel like, well, I have to go get I'd love to have a half a dozen Neumann U87.
No, the Neumanns, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm restating just in case they can't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry, what about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. I just in case they couldn't understand, Neumann is, of course, has been kind of a gold standard for a long time and an awesome microphone.
Oh, yeah, it has been and still is. Like, you can get a really good U87 that you can pretty much use for almost anything. And, it's going to run you $3,500. Even if you bought a used one that's 25 years old, you still might pay the same money for it because now it's become seasoned. There are some other microphones. Neumann makes and I think it's important that your listeners know this, they make a TLM 103. It's about $1,000, very fine mic. Is it outstanding over some other quality mics? Yeah, a lot depends on the voice or the instrument that's singing or playing into it. Simply because you have a U87 doesn't mean that you're going to have success on your recording.
Right.
I used for a long time, many years ago, out in Los Angeles, a Audio-Technica 4033 that seemed to sound great on female vocals, as opposed to my AKG 414, and I love the AKG, but a lot depends on the signal source. What are you doing with it? Are you rapping with it? Some microphones can't handle the high sound levels, so maybe that might not be a great choice if you're doing some rap. And I might get a Shure SM58 and let them scream into that. Oddly enough, Ryan, and I'm long-winded, but oddly enough, there was a studio in Philadelphia that the Rolling Stones were recording in. I don't remember the name of the studio. This would have been in the 80s. And Mick Jagger insisted on using an SM58, a cheap off-the-shelf $109 microphone as opposed to a U87. That's the sound he wanted. So, who's to say what's best? There are some Rode, R-O-D-E, I think they're NT one that you can get for $299. Again, if you have a quality song, quality talent, and a reasonably quiet, decent, quality home studio, you should be able to get great results tracking all of your stuff. Now, you may want to go elsewhere to mix it, but as far as the confidence of being assured that you're going to get good quality, another one is the AKG Perception series. There's the Perception, what's the model number? 420, the $299 mic. If $299 is a little steep, and keep in mind there are people who have home studios who still have 2, 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know, grocery bills, insurance, and maybe $300 is a little rich. There's a Perception 220. It's $179. $179 is a trip to the ball game.
Right.
Cancel a ball game and buy a decent microphone.
Yeah. All right, great stuff, Dave. I appreciate all your input on that, and let's go to another segment. I am Ryan Michael Galloway with WeDon'tNeedNoStinkingRecordCompany.com, and I'm with Dave Williams from the Vault Studios in Houston, Texas, and we'll be back tomorrow night.